Welcome to Rock Club. My name is Kevin Z, and I'm a lifelong musician and music fan. I'd like to think that I've gained musical wisdom over my 50 years of listening to, performing, and studying music from among my many favorite artists. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my Rock Club channel, as I intend to review another monumental album each week. Now, I grew up with classic rock bands like Kiss, Led Zeppelin, and Boston. I watched as new wave bands like Duran Duran hit big on MTV and television shows like Friday Night Videos. I witnessed the evolution of 80s alternative rock and hair metal and the rise of grunge. So I'll give you my perspective on classic albums spanning across these years. I hope I can pass along some of this knowledge to my daughters, Sky and Ava, whose playlists include songs from my record collection and also from my first generation iPod here. Also, folks at work heard some of my playlists and they commented how cool that music was. It was so different than the stuff that they've been listening to, and how Generation Z could benefit from my knowledge of these great artists and bands. So I'm reviewing artists' albums in the order, the formatted order as they were originally intended to be listened to on the album. So keep in mind, these are my opinions. Feel free to comment, agree, and disagree. So let's begin. After examining my life experiences, I've realized that there are some absolutes in this world. The sun rises in the east, love conquers all evil, and the Replacements were an incredible band that heavily influenced grunge. How do I know about the Replacements part, you ask? Well, partly because I grew up near Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Mats, as they were affectionately known, called home. The Mats first cut their teeth playing garage parties around Minneapolis, graduating to the cramped stage of 7th Street Entry at First Avenue. Now, 7th Street Entry was this odd, angular-shaped room about the size of a double garage, with the walls all painted black, and there was a cocktail bar on one side of the room. The dressing room was in the basement beneath the First Avenue nightclub, and there you could see names of many punk and rock legends scratched into the stone mortared walls. It was the loudest place to see a band in Minneapolis. That's where the Mats cut their teeth and honed their skills. Bob Stinson, lead guitarist and dreamer, enlisted neighboring wonder kid Paul Westerberg. He took his little brother Tommy Stinson on bass, and together with drummer Chris Mars, they set out to be the Twin Town punk rockers. But they progressed into something so very much more. Turns out that Westerberg could write really good lyrics and bang out catchy rhythm guitar or even piano parts to fit these tunes. Bob Stinson could melt faces with his incredible guitar riffs. He could now pull off, after hours and hours of listening to his prog rock heroes, Yes, and metal bands like Black Sabbath. Tommy Stinson and Chris Mars held down the fort with a tight, powerful rhythm section. Oh, did I mention that they all drank like fish? Released October 2nd, 1984, Let It Be is the third studio album by the Replacements, named as an inside joke for their band manager's love of the Beatles. Let It Be was the band emerging from their punk musings on previous two albums, Hootenanny and Stink. Paul Westerberg, who would later become the leader of the band, was lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist, making a conscious effort to write what he called, quote-unquote, a little more sincere. Westerberg pens 10 songs that break through the teenage angst and gain recognition from fans and music critics alike. The band also covers the tune Black Diamond from their rock heroes Kiss. With Let It Be, the band gains national recognition, eventually earning them a 1985 performance spotlight on Saturday Night Live, in which they would sabotage their own musical careers, but I'll get to that. The album opens with the sing-along anthem, I Will Dare. It was also the only single released off the album. It's upbeat and jangly and almost perfect pop song. I got hooked on this song after hearing it at a party while I was playing quarters against Jenny. She kicked my ass, by the way, forcing me to drink shot after shot of Bacardi, but I digress. Paul Westerberg shows us his lyrical genius on this tune. There's this nice guitar solo by guest musician Pete Buck of none other than fellow alternative rockers REM. Track 2, side 1, is the high energy rocker Favorite Thing. The band fires on all cylinders on this tune. It's a song about teen rock music worship. There's a great sing-along chorus. You're my favorite thing. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You're my favorite thing. There's a face-melting guitar solo by Bob Stinson, the eldest and most troubled of the group. Track 3, side 1, is the punk onslaught, We're Coming Out. This is the closest throwback to the earlier stuff on their first 2 albums. Very punky. The song starts out absolutely fast and furious. Westerberg's voice breaks and cracks as he screams out the lyrics. Later, there's this breakdown part that adds in hand snaps and a piano part, and it slowly builds back to a very chaotic ending. Track 4, side 1, is the narrative. Tommy gets his tonsils out. Is it about bassist Tommy Stinson getting his tonsils taken out? Maybe so. And if that's the case, his doctor sounds like a really great guy. Nice guitar hooks. Clocking in at under 2 minutes, this tune is very short and sweet. Track 5 is the classic Matt's tune, Androgynous. It became a sort of underground anthem at the time, so much so I recently saw Joan Jett perform a cover of this tune live at her show here in Phoenix. Paul Westerberg witnessed things, and he wrote this song way back in the mid 80s about the trend of teenage boys and girls messing with their gender stereotypes, wearing each other's clothes and hairstyles. It's a phase that all teens go through. They're still doing it. Don't you know? Spoken in my best Minnesotan accent. Track 6, side 1, is the cover of Kiss's Black Diamond. It's stripped down, raw, and unpolished with mistakes and miscues, just the way the Mats would often perform live in concert, abruptly breaking into miscellaneous cover tunes and trying to fight their way to the finish without causing a total train wreck. This is part of the magic of the Replacements. Side 2 opens with the somber 12-string guitar intro of the epic song Unsatisfied. If there's anything this song does, it makes you really feel something. It's sadly beautiful, to quote a later Westerberg song title. Such powerful lyrics, quote, everything you dream of is right in front of you, and everything is a lie, unquote. I read the band's biography, Trouble Boys, and it's chock full of stories of the band shooting themselves in the foot. Their fear of fame led to heavy alcohol and drug abuse. Because they felt uncomfortable in front of the media, interviewers, and other performers, they really retreated into themselves. On their big opportunity on Saturday Night Live in 1985, they proceeded to get wasted before their performance, smuggling in booze and trashing their dressing room. Bob Stinson looked like an absolute fool wearing a woman's unitard frock. Westerberg dropped an F-bomb on live TV in front of millions of viewers. They were banned from SNL for life after that. The band's absolute lack of focus, their continued immature behavior, the antics all allowed managers to then take advantage of them and their money that they thought they had made, and relationships that they thought meant something, and it would quickly come and go. So the band would later fire founding member Bob Stinson due to his drug use and erratic behavior. Bob continued a sad downward spiral, passing away in 1995 due to organ failure from a life of drug and alcohol abuse. May he rest in peace. Track 2, side 2, is the mostly instrumental tune Senior Video. It's got a catchy guitar riff. It's a spoof on the fledgling MTV, which the band was really not fond of. They didn't embrace MTV, another bad move which cost them fans. I clearly remember the band's simplistic video for their song Bastards of Young off the follow-up album to this. It was named Tim, that album. I clearly, the video, it was just a shot of a stereo system and its speakers and like this 15-inch speaker. You could see the subwoofer just kind of beating to the music. So, and a guy, just his legs, I don't know if it was Westerberg or not, just walking in and out of the picture, but you couldn't see any faces. That was it. That was their video. Track 3, side 2, is the raunchy rocker Gary's Got a Boner. Leave it to Westerberg to write a song about a young guy beating off to Madonna, but he did it, and you need to have a listen to it. Track 4, side 2, is a song of true teenage angst. 16 Blue. Being a teenager is tough. Sex is confusing. There are things that everyone needs to figure out. A great mid-tempo tune. Westerberg is passionate in his lyrical delivery on this one. There's also a great solo in the outro by Bob Stinson. The last song on the album, Answering Machine, is a raw rocker featuring Westerberg alone with his guitar turned up to 11. He's lonely, frustrated, and trying to reach his girlfriend. I love the line, "Try and free a slave of ignorance. Try and teach a whore about romance." I saw Westerberg's solo show in Minneapolis back in 2002. Just him sitting on a couch with his amplifier and a few different guitars. He was mesmerizing as a live performer. He played this song along with many others. It's a heavy emotional ending to an exceptional album by Minnesota's own Replacements. So the Replacements, Let It Be, is a hidden gem of an alternative rock album. The Mats were the band that never made the big time, but would heavily influence the grunge bands that eventually did. Thanks for tuning in, and look for more Rock Club record album reviews in the near future. Peace.